song on the wind, looking for space and finding my way back home. Happy tear in my eye, not ashamed of where I've been. I'm looking ahead now, I'm on the right road. Gonna outrun the rain, gonna throw away the pain. I'm living right 'cause I'm following my heart. Gonna outrun the rain, gonna celebrate the change. I just got up to get the food bag, and look at this view. So beautiful. And the moon is out right there. This is great. It was a little bit cold last night. It was a little bit cold last night, and the wind was blowing. But luckily that line of trees really did keep the wind from directly hitting us, so that was good. This truck pulled up just as I was getting back in my tent with my food bag, and I said good morning to April, and just about to poke my head back in the tent, and a young guy comes walking from the truck across the field here behind me, heading down in that direction, all in camo. He's got a rifle slung over his shoulder. I thought to myself, I better go talk to him. He's out here hunting birds. I don't know if it's turkeys or pheasants, or I don't know what it is, but he's out here bird hunting. So that was kind of interesting at 6 a.m. But good morning. I'm gonna go back in the tent, have some breakfast, and wait for it to warm up just a little bit because it's a little nippy. We are all packed up and ready to go. Tents are down. Last final check around, make sure we didn't drop anything or leave anything. And April just informed me that we don't have to walk far for the first white blaze, because it is right on this tree that we were at yesterday. And look, there it is. That's easy. Good morning, AT. Thank you for another beautiful day out here on trail. Thank you for the sunshine. And thank you for us having the ability to climb that mountain. That's our first big hump today. We're gonna do it. Taking a quick little Blue Blaze trail for water. This is one of the nicer ones we've seen. That's a beautifully piped water source right there.
I love it. Not far off the trail at all. That's great. And it's just a spring. Like it's just seeping out of the ground here. Creating that much flow. That's excellent. All right, gonna fill up my empty and we'll head on. So we're a bit up our climb here today. We're not positive, but we think the peak of that is Beauty Spot. Maybe. We were there yesterday. Our camp spot, we had descended a little bit from Beauty Spot to camp, and then we descended even more down into this little gap area way down there, and now we're climbing. True AT fashion. April and I were just talking. April said she likes these rock steps a lot better than the log stairs. They're a little easier to navigate and to walk. You can kind of get a stride going. Sometimes those log steps, they're either so tall or spaced so far apart that you can't maintain a good stride, which is more tiring than if you could just continue a certain pace and walk. Like these. These are actually easy to do. Being shorter. All right. I'm gonna push away so I can catch my breath. We still got a ways to go. We just got to a point here on our climb and you can see where we camped. It's hard for me to pinpoint it on the small screen here, but it's somewhere right around there. See a little grassy field with a little slope to it? That's where we camped. So that means that yes, that peak there would be Beauty Spot. We came down off of there last night, walked a mile from there to our tent site. It's pretty nice to be able to look back and see that. This is neat, a little rhododendron tunnel here. We're almost we're almost at the top. We probably have about 0.3 left to the top. And yes, still climbing. But this is neat when you go through those tunnels like that. Another area that's just really pretty. Wow. This is the part that's hard hiking through without Sherry, because we both do really love just the change in the terrain and the smells and the sounds. You know, this is just gorgeous. So I'm bummed out that she's missing all this, but getting her ankle healed is definitely a priority. Oh wow, it just got like 5 degrees cooler right here in the shade. Yeah, this is definitely the hardest part about hiking solo. You know, experiencing this without your other half to share it with. I think we're almost at the top. I see kind of horizon through the trees there. This is tricky. Really have to look ahead for the white blazes, because this isn't, I mean, the trail could be in, you know, a few different directions at points. So really have to watch for those white blazes. we get to the top, we're gonna take our packs off. I'm gonna filter some water, have a snack before we continue on down the hill. Incredibly beautiful. Working our way down after reaching the peak. That was absolutely just amazing how beautiful that was. That forested area. Look at this, we're walking through, April called it like a Christmas tree forest. The trail just takes you right through this tight tunnel of Christmas trees. It's beautiful evergreens. We've got a pretty long descent. There's 3.3 miles till we reach the next shelter. We're not staying there, but it's Cherry Gap Shelter. We're gonna stop there, have a bite to eat. April is gonna check her feet. She's had a couple blisters from yesterday, so she's gonna check her feet, make sure the blisters aren't still giving her a problem. She put some tape over them, but just want to make sure that the tape is still there, you know, all that kind of thing. Re-doctor them if need be. So 3.3 to that shelter, and most of that is a descent off of this peak. Hopefully it's not incredibly steep. The profile shows pretty steep, but hopefully it's a more gentle grade than what the profile's giving us. This isn't bad, actually, if we could maintain this. Still incredibly lush and green and mossy and beautiful. The terrain has changed a little bit. We're out of the rocky bits and more on the pine needle carpeted path here. This is a real nice descent so far. Still in a mix of sun and shade, which is lovely. You can see a little bit of the ridge line out there through the trees still. Just commented we're really enjoying this part of our walk today. Smells real good. It's cool. Trail's easy to walk. Very enjoyable. It is just a perfect day. Hard to believe just in a couple days we're going to be in a storm. We're going to be off trail for some pretty severe weather. When you've got days like this. I don't know if you can see the ridge line through the trees. Well, as we stop to catch our breath, suck wind on our second climb of the day, I look back and notice this. That peak right there is the summit we were on just a little while ago, with all the trees, the beautiful tree-covered areas with the moss. That's where we were. So we came down that into a gap down below there, and then up trail this way. We've got to climb a little descent and then another little climb, and then on the downside of that second climb as a shelter we're going to stop at, and we're going to let April take her shoes off and check her blisters and maybe have something a little more substantial than just a bar. And then I don't know how much more we have to our day. It's just 10 after 12. We said we'd like to hike till about 3 or 4, and that should make up our 9 miles, but if we're feeling good and it's that early, we might push on a little bit more. That'll make it less of a day tomorrow to get to Hughes Gap, where we decided last night we're going to get picked up to duck out of the storms that are coming on Monday. So we'll see where we're at, but I always love looking back and seeing where we've been and feeling that great sense of accomplishment. We are rolling into Cherry Gap Shelter. See, it's 1:45, so that's a little over 4 hours since we left this morning. I'll have to put the mileage in here. That's how far it was to this point. I cannot quite recall. But we're going to stop here, get something to eat, filter our water, and rest our feet. Not that I was trying to rhyme, but that just kind of worked out that way. That's kind of neat. The water source here for Cherry Gap Shelter it's a dual pipe. I only saw this one at first, and I thought, oh, that's not a bad flow. And then I saw this one and thought, whoa, that's fantastic. This will take no time at all to fill up our bottles here. A little bit of a crowd here for break time. A party of 5 showed up.
Probably.
Five or 6. Younger folks, they're doing a marathon day. They're doing 26 miles today. They left from Outrun, is that what they said?
Yep.
This morning.
Yep.
And they're doing 26 miles, so.
This is 16, so they've got 2 more.
Whew, my goodness. That's a long day for them. This is the shelter. I'll show you real quick before we leave. We're getting ready to go. It's very low clearance here, if you see. It's the decapitator. And I see why, because even me, in my short 5'2" frame, you know, there's not a lot of clearance there. Any taller than me, and you could sure as heck give yourself quite the knock on the noggin. Small shelter. Somebody left a stuff sack of something. Not gonna look in there. Lot of graffiti in here. I took a photo of this. I might insert that here. Shelter was built in 1962. Kinds of little warnings about, you know, feeding the bears and whatnot. There's no privy here, so we are in Tennessee. The water is just down that way. I showed you the source a little while ago. It's not very far down. And we're all packed up and ready to go. Just to put these
monstrous packs on.
Heavy things back on our backs and head back out.
I can't convince her to stop at the next road.
April wants to get off at
Iron Mountain Gap.
Iron Mountain Gap, which is 3 miles away. We did that, we'd have to wait a long time because nobody could come get us right away. So we'd be sitting waiting.
True.
We're gonna go to Hughes Gap tomorrow. That's another 9 after Iron Mountain.
Good hiking days.
Yeah, we gotta, you know, hike while the sun's shining because Monday's gonna be crap. So we're back at it. This is a perfect example why we take every water source very seriously and we consider refilling or topping off at every water source, because somebody went through a lot of trouble to pipe this, and it's obviously a seasonal source. So if we were relying on this to get our water, you know, if the Guthook book or the Guthook app or the AWOL book said piped spring and we relied on it, we'd be SOL right now. So every opportunity we have to get water, we generally will, especially when it's hot, because you're not sure if the next one is reliable or if the next one is actually at the mile marker that the guidebook or the app would say it is. Sometimes they're not. So that's why we fill up so frequently. What a day. Look at how far you can see. Look at the ridges of the mountains way off in the distance. That is the most incredible thing ever. And I need to use better adjectives. April and I went through the alphabet, you know, A, amazing, B, beautiful. So we're trying to find all the different adjectives.
Can you help us get a C,
an O,
a Q,
and a Q,
an X, and a Z?
Yeah, C, Q, X, Z.
Yeah.
It may be an O. I couldn't really think of a good O.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
so we can describe.
Amazing, beautiful, wow, spectacular, ours are beautiful, stunning,
a majestic.
Majestic.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Just speechless.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Yep. So that's our carrot at the end of our climb. 1.7 left to the road crossing, and then we'll find a place to camp for the day.
There's a car.
I hear a car, yeah. So in true AT fashion, we come out of the woods here, and we're dropped off here on a blind corner. to go to the trail over there. So I think we're good, and we're gonna go for it. We pushed on a little bit further than we planned to get to the next water source, which is just up ahead here. Apparently there's good camping in the area. We thought, why not camp right near a water source where we don't have to ration or worry, instead of limiting ourselves for tonight and then tomorrow morning. Just to get here. It was only a matter of a 0.7 more than what we had already planned on doing. So we did it, even though a good portion of that was a climb. So we'll just have to find that piped spring, which is the water source. And it looks like we might have a nice little meadow here to choose a spot out of. I think this is Old School and Wallflower and couple of their friends who I haven't actually gotten to know their trail names yet. But we are probably just about done with our day. This will be perfect. In this nice low spot, we're not in the windward side of the mountain, and I think we'll be good. We're gonna camp here for the night. Water is just a little more down there. Find a level spot. We're videoing each other, April. Hi, Deeks. All right, this is excellent. This will be perfect. Tonight, this is gourmet, and it's gourmet because April brought butter out with her. I've got a half a stick of butter in my peanut butter jar with ramen, stovetop stuffing, and some buttery mashed potatoes. That's my dinner. I'm gonna add a chicken packet to it. What's that?
In a peanut butter jar.
In a peanut butter jar, yeah. So I'm gonna add a chicken packet to it. I don't know if I'll add it in or if I'll just eat it separately. I'm not sure, but that's my gourmet dinner with butter from home. This is our setup. I've got my tent right there. April's is right here. Great spot. The trail is on that ridge line right there. Goes north off in that direction. Oh, beautiful yellow flower field there. This is, oh, we even got a stool. Did you see the stool?
I did see it.
We got a little stool here. Look at that. Now that's fancy. Yeah, we are all set up, ready to go. Dinner is cooking, rehydrating cooking. Yeah, we're just gonna eat and get a couple more chores done, and I think we're just gonna edit some videos and crawl in our tents and just kind of call it a day. It was a long day.
It was, and I have gear explosion out here for bears.
She has gear explosion going on. My gear explosion is in the tent. Water source is just right down this path, real close, easy to get to. We can top off tomorrow morning without worry. We've got about 8 miles to go tomorrow. I guess I'm ending my day. I didn't even think I was going to do that, but I probably just should. So we did over 9 today. We did 10 probably today, is what we did.
We started at 356.
Yeah?
And
yeah. April's going to figure out the mileage. So we have 8.1 tomorrow to Hughes Gap, and we'll let Sherry and Cheryl both know about what time we'll be there. And they'll come scoop us up and get us out of the bad weather that's coming.
10.7.
10.7. Well, the battery died in the GoPro again, so I'm finishing up my end of day here in the tent. We did 10.7 today, which was really great. We have 8.1 to do tomorrow. We will let Cheryl and Sherry know what time we're ready to get picked up at Hughes Gap when we have a better idea of our plan for the day. It'll probably be sometime around maybe 3 in the afternoon, 2 or 3. We'll see how the day goes. 8.1. We shouldn't take us that long if we leave early enough, but we'll know a better time once we get going and see how the day's progressing. I'm just gonna call it for the night. Like I said, I'm in the tent. We've already eaten. All our chores are done. Food bags hung. Just gonna call it a night. Get a good night's sleep here. You can hear, we've got a lot of other people around us tonight. Several other folks have shown up. You're hearing heat in the background. more so than anyone else. So, good night.
I've been searching for something real to keep, and in my dreams I got so much to say. Out here on the road I've seen miracles unfold. They show me what the singing's all about. In harmony we'll find that sweet sunshine. I've come so far, no telling where I'm bound. Gonna outrun the rain, gonna throw away the pain. I'm living right 'cause I'm following my heart. Gonna outrun the rain, gonna celebrate the changes on the highway of legends. It's written in the stars. Gonna outrun the rain, outrun the rain. Gonna outrun the rain.